Hey there, hey friends, Ken here, your Thrifty Apprentice, and welcome in. Today we are going to be taking Inktober and merging it with crafting in order to make this inky, whimsical, water-soluble sketchbook. But you can turn yours into whatever type of sketchbook you choose to, or even a junk journal with all of the tips and tricks that normally comes along with it. So in order to get started today, the first thing we're going to do is the focal image. So for the focal image, I've decided to use paint crush swatching stamps. Although you've seen me use these before, I figured they would be wonderful today since we are in the middle at the time that this video is being shot of Amazon Prime Day, which is October 8th and 9th. And these are listed on my Prime list or on Prime as a discounted special for Prime Day. So I figured, why not show you them in action once more? The front illustration I've chosen to go with is one that you may have seen before due to the fact that this is a swatching stamp, and we are going for the big old paintbrush here. And we will just stick that onto an acrylic block, ink your stamp, stamp it. Be sure to give your ink time to transfer, scan it to enlarge it, and then reprint it on your paper of choice in your desired size. And finally, we will be reinforcing the outline with permanent line makers and adding color with Derwent Inktense pan paints. So let's get started. So here, we've finished our illustration, and I need to take this to my brother's scan and cut machine, scan it in, and I'm going to be cutting the image out with about 1/16 of a board. But in the meantime, I need to prepare my backing panel. I've chosen a 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper that has a watercolor design on it that I feel is going to match my image perfectly. So I'll be cutting that out on the brother's scan and cut. I'll be cutting this down to fit the front of the journal frame we will be making in just a little bit, and then we'll be working on decoration. Now, let's create our base by recycling this Brute Fronter color pencil box. Now I will reinforce the spine and secure that with fabric. I'm also going to color the spine with a black marker to hide the craft color. To finish the inside up, I'm going to be covering it with 2 pieces of pattern paper that basically have full images because I won't be adding anything additional to the inside. So I'll place one of the images here, and then I'll place the other image on the other side. In order to secure the pattern paper down, I will be using Fabric-Fix silicone glue around the edges, and I'll be using my white PVA glue in the middle just for extra security. With the inside panels secured down, I'm going to go ahead and actually secure the front panel, and we're leaving everything else exactly as it is so that we can keep some of the integrity of the original colored pencil box. I just thought this would all work together so well, and it would be whimsical to see what the journal was made of without seeing what it's made of, so to speak. So let's adhere this down. And finally, I've decided I'll use the leftover strips from the paper I used on the inside to cover just the top part and the bottom part of the back cover. I want to cover where the flaps actually were. And here, friends, we have our completed jacket. What you do with your jacket at this point is completely on you. You can turn it into a junk journal, bind your papers, add your pockets, tucks, tips, tricks, and just go to town as we do in junk journal land. If you want to turn it into a dry media or water soluble, you would simply bind the papers that you would like to inside, and there you'll have it. I'm going to be turning mine into a water soluble sketchbook, so I will be binding it with 140-pound cold pressed acid-free watercolor paper, which is of a really good quality. And since you guys have seen me bind sketchbooks many times before, I'm going to bind it off camera, and then we'll come back and I will show you the final results of our Inktober meets crafting creation project today. Now, let's do a little flip through. Here we have the cover that we created, starting off with a stamp that we enlarged and then painted with Inktense and fine liners. We have the backing paper that was made from regular pattern paper, and then we stamped it with dye-based inks and used dye-based inks through a stencil in order to do the background. We used the Brother Scan and Cut machine and cut out different words to create a message, create memories for you, which is what you should always do inside your sketchbook. Create your own memories. Flipping to the inside, we just used pattern paper straightforward that had its beautiful design in writing to sort of match the front cover on both the front inside panel and the back inside panel. Keeping it really simple and straightforward because this is a water-soluble sketchbook and I really didn't want to do too much to it. But you can take yours and push it to make it as elaborate as you want to. Your creation has no limit, should I say. Just go for it, guys. I did bind it with 140-pound cold press acid-free watercolor paper, as I told you before. I chose level 2 Artist Loft Artist watercolor paper, which I happen to like a lot. And then of course we left the back pretty much the same as it was from the pencil box. We just put down the leftover remnants from the inside pattern paper in order to cover where there were the sort of latches on the box. I did use purple or violet, if it's you want to call it, embroidery floss in order to bind the signatures. And that, my friends, is our sketchbook. I had so much fun creating this using alcohol inks, dye-based stamping inks, black fine liner inks, and finally Derwent Inktense pan paints, making a really inky, crafty project. A great way to carry Inktober over into other types of creation projects. Thank you, friends, so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, jump in the comment section, let me know what you thought of today's project and this video, and whether you're going to set out to make this on your own. Don't forget to check the video description for all of the relevant links. Remember, as I always tell you, just keep creating. And if you would like to see other sketchbook creation videos, be sure to check out this playlist.